What's up, guys? I hope that you guys have been loving all of the travel videos and content that we've been putting out lately. But we have to put a pause in all the fun stuff and talk about something a little bit more serious. So, I will say this. We have our real life, obviously, and we also have our social media presence. And we try our best to keep the two separated. Um, because what we do online is essentially work, but we do have a real life that we don't always share with you guys. And rightfully so, because that's our real life. And we try to be as transparent as possible, but some things we just keep to ourselves just because, I don't ever want to blur the line between reality and what we're sharing online. Like, I want to keep some things sacred and some things to, ourselves as a family. But recently something happened with Aria, and it's really bothered me. And it's really, as a parent, just made me realize what's, to come potentially. So, as you guys know, we have done a phenomenal job, and I'll pat myself on the back, but we have done a phenomenal job with, raising two children who are kind, who are very like courteous to people, who are very respectful. They're 5 years old, so they're typical 5 year olds, but for the most part, they are great kids. We also stay on them a lot because we do have high expectations for them, but they're good kids. And to know that we have to send them off into the world where other people are not raising their children to be good kids, is quite scary, to be very transparent. So, a situation happened where a child told Arya that she's a loser. And I know that to some people, it's not that big of an issue, right? Kids are kids and things like that. But I think as we are progressing in society, we know that words stick and words hurt. And I think that if you continue to plant the seeds of something, eventually that seed is going to grow and it's going to harvest, right? And that's what scares me. Is releasing my kids out into the world one day where they're going to have to go out and handle situations on their own, because as a parent, I want to jump in and I want to defend them and I want to protect them from certain things. And I know that I'm going to have to let them do it on their own. So, anyway, just to give you a little bit of the backstory, came home one day to Aria very upset and telling me that someone in particular called her a loser. And I immediately got frustrated because I don't ever use that type of language with them. We don't even curse in front of the kids, but like we try our best to build them up, and not use words that devalue them. So I wanted to first find out in what context was it used. It don't matter, but I wanted to know what I was working with. And was it a game? Was it this person was angry at you? Like, what was the situation? And once I found out more information, I had a conversation with her about how she felt. And I thought it would be really important for our audience, for you guys, to see just how it affects kids. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring Arya in and I'm going to have the conversation that we had together in private with you all. So, hold on just a second. Whew, man, this head. Tell everyone hi.
Hi.
So, you remember one day when Dad and Daddy left and we came back home, and when we got home, we found you very upset because you said that someone had told you a bad word. What was that bad word?
A loser.
Well, do you know what that means?
Mhm.
What do you think a loser means?
A loser means that I don't play good.
That you don't play good?
Mm, and I tried to lose games, and said I don't win a pony yesterday because he said I'm a loser, and I don't win that.
So when this person called you a loser, how did it make you feel?
Angry.
It made you feel angry?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because that made me angry. When I told you that made me angry.
Okay. So you think being a loser, if someone says that they're not being kind, right?
Right.
So do you call people losers?
No.
No. Why?
Because.
Because what?
Because that's not a nice word.
Well, this is what I think. I think that under no circumstance do we feel like you're a loser. Okay?
I'm not.
I know you're not. But why are you not a loser? Who told you that you were not a loser?
Nobody.
Dad and Daddy did. Or even if Dad and Daddy did not tell you that you were not a loser, you need to know that you're not one, okay?
Okay.
And I want you to be very, very clear about how you feel about yourself.
I feel sad.
Right now?
No.
Oh, you felt sad when that happened? Okay. But can I ask you a question? How do you think about yourself? Do you think that you're kind?
And I'm a sweet girl, and sometimes Ashton runs to me when I come back from vacation school.
Okay. So you think that you're sweet? Do you show people love?
Like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad.
Do you think it's important to be kind to people? Yeah.
Sometimes when they call me a loser, my heart breaks. You see all these pieces? They broke.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come back like this.
Who brings them back?
God.
God.
And He blesses all of you.
No matter what Dad and Daddy thinks, no matter what Ashton thinks, no matter what your friends think, or anyone else, you have to always remember what you think about yourself. That's the only opinion that matters, right?
Right.
Right? So if Arya feels that she's a good person and nobody else feels that you're a good person, you have to remember what you think about yourself, right?
Right.
Right. You gonna remember that always and forever? And even when people are not kind to you, right?
Right.
You have to always remember what's in here and what's in there.
Heart.
That's your heart, but what's in there?
Love.
Love. And you always love people no matter what, okay?
Like you.
Never let people be mean to you. And if they are, what do you do?
Tell you.
Tell you and who else?
Tell Dad.
Dad and who?
Daddy.
Yes, you come back and tell Dad and Daddy, and we'll try our best to fix the situation. But no matter what, you gotta always remember what's in here, okay? And even though there are some people who are not kind in the world, you have to always be kind. But yes, sometimes people are not gonna be kind, and sometimes it's gonna hurt your feelings, right?
Right.
But that's when you turn to who? Who always fixes everything for you? Me, and who else?
Daddy.
And who else? They live up in the sky in the clouds.
Jesus.
Jesus. And Jesus will always make sure He protects this and keeps that safe, okay?
And what happens if it falls out?
I don't think it's gonna feel very good. But
And
if that does happen, Jesus picks it up and He puts it back.
And what happens if it falls on the grass? And what if my heart is not in? What happens if my heart's not in?
I don't think it's gonna feel very good.
I'm gonna fall in the grass?
Probably. But that's why you have Dad, Daddy, Jesus, and Ashton to always pick you up.
Yeah, because Jesus is my favorite one, and he's a hero.
He's a hero? Well, I love that, and I love you. Okay.
And the Jesus.
You didn't hear me?
Yes.
What did I say?
I love you.
Okay. Never, never, ever, ever, ever be mean to people. Okay.
Okay.
Even when people are not being kind and not being nice to you, you never be mean to people. Thank you so much for this conversation, ma'am.
Dad, did you got saved by Jesus too?
Yes, I got saved by Jesus.
What happened to you when Jesus came?
He made me feel better, a lot better.
Yeah? Did he came in your room?
He's everywhere. So yes, he comes in my room too.
Guess what? Jesus saved me in my room. He made me all better too.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, do me a favor. Go put this up in your drawer in your room, okay? And I'm going to finish talking to our friends.
Bye.
It be those moments like that, y'all, that it's simple conversations. And people think that it's so intricate and detailed and so like fragile to have conversations with kids, and it's not. They usually listen as best as they can and understand things just as well as we do sometimes. But in that, I just wanted to put out this message that like I think everybody who, whether you have children or not, if you are around kids, if you are around the next generation that's coming up, I think we all have a duty to create the world that we all want to exist in. And I think it is so important that we teach kids and hold them accountable for being good human beings. And it literally breaks my heart to have her come to me and to tell me that someone was not being kind to her. And it's like, well, obviously I want her to be able to defend herself, but that's a whole nother topic. But I still want her to remain intact. I want her goodness to remain intact. And it's incredibly hard to know that not everybody is as conscious and as careful with their kids to teach them to do the right things. And parenting is not easy, and you have to be involved in every part of your kid's life in order to make sure that even when they're not in your presence, that they go out and they're still doing the right things. But in any event, just make sure y'all are all doing your part to raise up kids who, are going to do the right things, even if they're not in your presence. And I get that kids are going to make mistakes. I know that kids are going to go out, they're going to test the waters and things like that. But it's just so much happening in the world, and kids are holding in so much. And I don't think people realize, even me looking back on my childhood, on things that I went through that my mom to this day still doesn't know. Things that I've experienced, things that I've internalized that I'll never share with her, never talk with her about. You just don't know. And to see these kids taking their lives early, to see them, just being so like depressed and heartbroken and, just all over the place and searching for love in like the wrong places and things like that, like it's just incredibly hurtful. And I don't want that for my kids. So I just wanted to make sure that I put out that message that we all need to do our part as people who are influencing the next generation, to have them come up in a way that they know that they want this world to be better too. We all have to be better humans to each other, making sure we lead by example and creating the world that we all want to exist in, where everyone can just be happy and be at peace. So with that, I'm going to end this video here. We will probably get back to some more fun-filled moments, but I think I want to challenge myself to start sharing these like really authentic moments with you guys, to kind of bring you into a little bit of our world, because I think you guys are so used to seeing the kids being sweet and being young, but now that they're getting older, they're having their own experiences too that, is truly affecting them. And it's really tough, especially for me as a parent, because I can be quite emotional about my kids, even as tough as I am on them. I don't want nobody to break my kids. So let's everybody do our part in being kind to each other. So Love y'all. We'll get back to the fun videos next. But I hope you guys stay safe out there. And until next time.